it's Reija and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to do the LGBTQIA Booktuber Tag. I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I wanted to do this tag for the longest time because I think it is important to show just how diverse Booktube really is and show that representation matters and that there are people who need that, even if you might not think that there are. And this tag was created by Danika Leigh Ellis. I will link her original video down in the description so you can check that out as well. But without further ado, let's get started with the questions. Question 1. How do you identify? And this is a pretty tough question. I identify as queer. That is my preferred label, precisely because it encompasses so many things and I just feel that it is very stress-free. But I technically fall into the category of bisexual. I identified for the longest time as gay. I only started questioning my sexual identity a few years ago because I realized that I was having these weird feelings for a guy, and it was really stressful, and I had a huge struggle with it because I had only ever dated women and I had only ever been interested in women, so to suddenly be interested in this one guy was like, what the hell? So I've actually had to come out of the closet 2 separate times in terms of having to struggle with my sexual orientation. But I identify as queer. Question number 2. What are some of your favorite LGBTQIA+ books and authors? And first, I have to say Ellen Kushner. She is the creator of the Riverside world and the author of Swords Point, Privilege of the Sword, and the co-author of Fall of the Kings. And she identifies as bisexual. Then there's Delia Sherman, Ellen Kushner's wife, who is the co-author of Fall of the Kings and also wrote Through a Brazen Mirror, among other things. And then there is my queen, Tove Jansson, who is the creator of the Moomin books, among other things. She was an artist and she had a long-term romantic relationship with a woman, and they lived together when it was illegal in Finland to be gay and to be queer. And I just think she was so strong and such an amazing woman. And I love her work and I love her as a person. She is one of my idols. Question 3. How often do you talk about LGBTQIA+ books on your channel, and what would be some of the videos you'd recommend for new viewers to start with if they're looking for LGBTQIA+ content? And I try to mention representation when it happens in any given book. I'm aiming to be better at it. This year I'm aiming to read much more queer lit than I did last year, but it is something that I do read all the time. And I'd actually recommend you to check my LGBTQ+ anime starter pack. I know it's not a bookish video, but that is a video that I'm really proud of, and it's very important to me because I love anime also. But I will link some other videos in the description so you can check those out as well. Question number 4. Who are your favorite LGBTQIA+ booktubers? And I have a few. There's Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd. I just love her spunkiness. She is very fun to watch. She reads a variety of different genres and she is a treasure trove of queer lit recommendations. I love watching her and I love her Harry Potter chats. She is amazing. Then there's Adriana of Perpetual Pages. They are one of my favorites. They are so eloquent. They have such a unique perspective on different books, and they also talk about LGBTQ+ lit all the time. And I just love watching their videos. They are a treasure. There's Russell of Ink and Paper blog. I also follow his videos a lot, and even though I don't tend to gravitate towards literary fiction, I have found so many books that I want to read through him, and he's also very open about his orientation and the books he reads. I just love his channel. He is very well spoken to. Then there's The Chameleon, a bit of a smaller booktuber, but I also love her content. She does a lot of very chill videos, and she has this tea time and currently reading series which I really like, and she has great discussions, and she just has this very calm voice that is very like, I love listening to her talk because it just makes me feel very peaceful, and I really am loving all the things she is talking about. Then there is Jen Campbell, who is an author and a bit of a bigger booktuber, and I love her. She talks about fairy tales, history of fairy tales. She talks about disabilities, and she has various recommendation videos for queer lit, and I love her. And finally, I have Simon of Savage Reads. I follow his content religiously. I think he's hilarious. And even though I probably don't read almost any of the books that he reads, I just love hearing him talk about them. They are like amazing. And there have been a few that I've actually put on my TBR because they sound so interesting, but it just goes to show that his personality is so strong that he makes me interested in a genre that I probably otherwise wouldn't be. Question number 5. When was the first time you encountered an LGBTQIA+ character in fiction? And that would be in Johanna Sinisalo's Troll, A Love Story. I read this book when I was about, I think, 13 or 14 years old. At that point, I was already questioning my own orientation, and I was in a really bad place. And this book came in my mom's literary, like, monthly book club box, and she didn't know anything about what were the contents in this book. She just gave it to me because she thought that she wouldn't be interested in it, and luckily she didn't check out the contents, because I don't think she would have let me read this if she'd known that there is an actual gay main character in this book. But yeah, this was the first book I read that had a queer main character in it, and it shaped me in ways that you wouldn't imagine. Question number 6. Anything else you'd like to add, and who do you tag? I just wanted to say that I think this tag is super important because it shows you that there are people that you might not expect to be queer, that actually are queer and just haven't disclosed it. And I think that for that reason it was important for me to do this video, because I generally believe that there should be more representation, and to have that we need to be more visible if that's something that we're comfortable with. And to that end, I'm not actually going to tag anyone, because I don't want to accidentally out people who maybe are not comfortable talking about their sexual orientation publicly in online settings. So I'm going to say that if you identify on the LGBTQIA+ spectrum and you're comfortable talking about your sexual orientation online and you haven't done this tag, then please consider yourself tagged and do this as well. And there you have it. This has been the LGBTQIA+ Booktuber Tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. There is going to be a lot more queer lit content in the future. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!